Are we on? Yeah. Okay, things keep cutting out. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on, show you guys. So you put the battery in here, screw it in, you pop the brush head on. I think it's magnetic because I don't have to screw it in at all. So this is what it looks like. Go ahead and turn her on. So you can see it's kind of wobbling a little bit, but it is spinning in a circular motion. Alright, so that's what that looks like. I'm excited. These bristles are really, really soft. And it is weighty. Like, not gonna lie, this might be a little bit much. Of course, I won't be doing this. I'll be moving it around gingerly on my face. But first impressions, initial reactions. So the reason why I got this was because I know Clarisonic has a new brush head for their, line of tools. I have one. I love my Mia, but the issue is that I keep it in the bathroom and I don't like to mix my beauty and skincare like that. I'd rather just buy a separate tool and keep it near my makeup if that's something that I want to use versus having to go back and forth and figure out where it is and all that. And that might be a very first world problem, but it's true. That's the honest truth. I've heard great things about that Clarisonic brush head, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's neat. I'm just not going to pick it up because I'm going to have to, travel with it. And, I don't want it to, not be sanitary and just, I don't know. I just freaked out. So that's why I got this backstory for you. So let's go ahead and jump on in. I am going to put all the products on my face and then I will be right back. We're going to go ahead and start with foundation. This is the Covergirl Vitalast Healthy Elixir in the shade 765. This is what she looks like. This did say to go ahead and start out using less, so that's what I'm going to try to do. For comparison's sake, like I said, I'm not much of a sponge person, so I'll be using this Sephora Advanced Airbrush set. They have a foundation brush that I absolutely love. So I put a little less product on this side, put a little bit more, just because I know I'm probably going to have to use more of the brush. I will be comparing for the brush the amount of product I have to use as well as the kind of like airbrush finish that I'm hoping it gives. So I just grabbed a mirror. This is from the Alpha Aqua line. I will be doing a review on this at some point. I'm going to go ahead and blend out. Hopefully you guys can see. Scooch in a little bit more. I know you guys want to be super close to me. All right. So I'm going to get really close to the camera. We're going to see how this goes. So I'm going to start with the foundation brush side. My skin has really improved, so I'm not really adding as much product as I used to. But this does give a nice airbrush finish depending on the foundation you use. Of course, you can build it up. I'm just going to start with one layer. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah. So you guys bear with me, please. It is really hard to kind of film like this. I'm kind of guessing basically what I'm doing right now, so. Let's see. So that's what I look like. Again, not covering up all of this. Alright, so this is the foundation side. I've used these brushes before. I also have a review on them. I will link them up above so you guys can see that if you haven't done so already. Next, I'm going to go ahead and try out the brush side, and I already have the foundation on, so I'm going to turn. Alright, we're getting close and personal. So I'm just going to... So... maybe I'm using it wrong? You guys see that? The way it's picking up the product? Whenever I press down on it, you can tell that the brush head inside of it is kind of like jiggling around a little bit because it's just magnetic. I should be able to just move it up and down. Now that I'm doing my makeup, it moves very slowly. Like, I could definitely blend out my foundation with the brush faster than this. Let me read the directions. I want to give this a fair shot. Alrighty, so here's what the instructions look like. I'm going to read them aloud. You turn on the rotating brush applicator and you start blending your makeup by holding the ergonomic applicator and gliding it slowly across your face, side to side, up and down. while applying the necessary pressure to receive desired makeup coverage, avoiding your eyes. Let's do this again. Maybe it's because my foundation sat too long. You can't really put too much pressure because then like the brush is kind of lagging on your face. It's slow. Like this is not a grab and go thing. Oops, I need to avoid my eyes. Alright, this is what the foundation brush side looks like. This is what the face brush side looks like. Oop, we've already got a few hairs coming out. I don't know how I feel about this, y'all. I'm gonna look at myself real quick. Alright, let's do one more layer of foundation on both sides. I mean, for not using as much product, okay. Am I excited that a few brush hairs came out? You know, no. So let me go ahead and build up the coverage on the brush side so you guys can see. I really love this brush set. Outside of this review, I highly recommend it. It's around 65 bucks, Sephora. All right, let's go in again. And maybe this does better. See? All right. All right. So I'm just going back in. My camera keeps cutting in and out, so you guys bear with me. This might do better with like more liquid foundations, even though this Covergirl foundation is not very thick. Hopefully you guys can see I'm not getting the brush right in the middle of the wall. I wish this had like settings on it. That would be kind of nice. I don't know. I think it did where the foundation just kind of stayed put. It did a nice job dispersing that kind of in that area, but it didn't really move too much around my face. I don't know. I'm going to do concealer even though it says to stay away from your eyes. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. This is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I'm going to go ahead and use a concealer brush by that same Sephora line to blend out the right side of my face. If I can find the brush. Okay. All right, found it. So I'm going to work quickly. Just blending this out. I'm going to use the tool on the other side of my face. I think this can handle under eyes. See, it's not dispersing. That's it. It's not dispersing the product. Oops. Be careful with it under your eyes. Oh no, see, the brush hairs are coming out. I might take her right back to Sephora. Maybe the Clarisonic is worth it, even though I don't like mixing the two. It's not, so one plus for this, it's not actually like, yes, it's not dispersing it, but it's not necessarily picking up the product underneath it and like dragging it around. Just looking at myself in the mirror. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, they look the same. They pretty much look the same. I don't think I've had to necessarily use any less product. And the hairs are coming out, which really irritates me. And maybe because it's this foundation brush head is probably not their best quality. It is like the starter one. Maybe that has something to do with it. I'm going to do a really, really light cream contour. For the sake of this video, this is Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation, the shade Truffle. Sorry, I gotta look off camera to do this part. I have no idea how this video is gonna turn out. Based on the reviews that I've seen of the Clarisonic, This just, I think it works faster. I haven't used that Anastasia product in a while, but the color matches nicely for summer. See, I want to like flick it and I can't. I kind of just have to glide it around. I mean, if you have the time to spare, it is nice. For the novelty of it, like if I am getting ready before I shoot, like I might. There's something about pampering yourself that I really enjoy. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out with the brush. Oops, even though I don't like sponges, I feel like a sponge can give you a similar finish in a much faster period of time. Apparently you can also use this with powder. We're gonna go ahead and try it. Let me read the directions real quick. So with powder, you start in the opposition and then dab the brush head directly into your makeup. Okay, so I'm gonna try this. We're gonna set my under eye real quick. Got my powders. Just gonna dip it in there, tap off the excess, all of the excess. Whew. All right. I'm gonna put a little bit on. I'm gonna take some of the excess and put it over here. Ooh. Oh, that's lovely. All right, let me go ahead and powder under this eye. Yeah, like what eye did I just do? This is the wrong brush. All right, put a little bit in. I don't even think any got on my brush that time. All right, I know I'm using the brush on that side. All right, one thing I do like about the tool over the foundation brush is that, I'm sorry, over this powder brush, is that when I put it down, like wiping it away is kind of hard, but the brush did a really nice job. Excuse me, I'm blending it in. So I'll show you on the bottom half of my cheek area, just putting a little powder on. See, it's dispersing it, which I like, I should say. I'm not having to worry about like plopping too much down on one side and trying to sweep it all away. So that was lovely, as I've got powders all over my chest. All right, next I'm going to set my whole face. We're just gonna try it. We're just gonna see how this goes. So I'm using this Mercier setting powder. I'm gonna do the brush side first. I'm not feeling contoury today. I might go back in later, but that looks nice. Damn. Okay. All right. Stop. Focus, Ansley. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Take the brush. I'm just gonna put a little bit of the powder everywhere, and then blend everything in. And let's see if this, because I have a few layers on. Let's see if this moves us around at all. It really does give a nice finish, though, if you can kind of tolerate the slowness of it. All right. I'm gonna sit, so I can't see right now. I'm gonna sit and just show you guys. This is the brush, the BLENDSMART brush. This is the Sephora side. Scoot in a little bit. Shout out to my skincare routine, holding me down right now. So I'm gonna take a quick look with my mirror off camera, finish getting ready, come back, and then give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, I probably look a little bit different. It's at the end of the day. Turns out I lost a lot of footage from this morning. So instead of doing like some finessing when I'm editing my video, I figured I'd just refilm it. So bear with me. Hopefully I still look good. I will say my makeup routine is pretty sweat proof. So like, yes, I'm kind of gross right now, but hey, I still look pretty decent. So I want to give you guys a quick review of the brush, as well as quickly tell you guys what I used on my face. So I used the e.l.f. blush palette in dark for my blush color. Transition shades came out of the Too Faced chocolate bar palettes, the kind of like brownish, probably milk chocolatey one. I don't know. As well as for the lavender shade, I pulled that out of Kat Von D's Pastel Goth. On my eyes, I have Urban Decay, their Perversion liner, and on my lip, I had one of the like Kylie Kim collabs in the shade Kemi. So I'll put a picture right here of what I looked like all fresh and clean this morning. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on this brush, and I'm actually glad I lost the footage because it gave me a chance to rethink about it for two reasons. So I'll be completely honest with you. I posted, this was the second thing, but I'll share it first. So I posted on my Instagram that I bought this brush, and BLENDSMART actually replied on my comment, and they were asking me what I thought about it. And my immediate reaction was to like say something great and be like, oh, this is awesome. Like, I'm so glad you guys created this. And it's not that it's not a nice product, but my initial reaction was to make that brand happy. Because who wants to go on Instagram if it was a horrible product and be like, yeah, your product's trash, good job, you guys. Like, that's not gonna look good. And they're not, like, it's hard because you want to be honest, right? Like, you really, really, really want to be honest, but too much honesty can also be a bad thing. And there's a time and a place, but that's such an issue right now in the beauty community. Like, people feel like there's always a time for honesty, and there is. And it just, so it's a whole thing. It like really stressed me out. I had to pause and be like, wow, like, you can be honest without maybe giving the full detail of all the things you like and don't like. Like, I might make another video on this, but I ended up replying back, and the comment's still there, that I feel like it's, and I said this earlier, I think it's great for filming. So I wasn't like, is it great all around? You know, no, I'll talk about that in a few minutes, but it has a good purpose, and instead of giving these general sweeping statements, I could focus on one thing versus feeling like I had to be nice and satisfy answering this brand's question, which it was kind of nice they reached out to me. I appreciated that, but my initial reaction was like, just make them happy, and that's not why I make my videos. It's not why I produce the content. So it was a good lesson learned. That was the second reason why I'm glad I lost the footage. The first one is it actually gave me a chance to think about moving forward how I'm going to tell you guys whether or not a product is good or not. The reality is that there's a few factors that go into this. Flat out, I will not be on my channel anymore saying as my final verdict if something is trash or if it's awesome. Like, I'm not going to do a good and bad dichotomy. I don't believe in that. It really gets under my skin when I see videos about it, because when you find channels you really like, you take their word as gospel sometimes. And the reality is like, each of these products works for someone. Who, I don't know. Even if it doesn't work for me, it works for someone. So who am I to get on here and be like, it's trash? You know, someone might take my word as gospel and then not get something that could work for them. And if I'm truly interested in providing information and giving you different perspectives to think about, then I owe it to you and to myself to do that. I shouldn't just say, oh, it's good or it's bad. Like, no, screw that. I'm not doing that on my channel. Now, what I will tell you is whether or not a product worked for me, give you a little perspective as to my thoughts on why it did or didn't work, and also just throw out a couple of ideas. So as you're thinking about if you want to purchase that product, just to help you become a more informed consumer and maybe throw out some ideas that you hadn't thought about before. That's what I truly feel like my place is on this platform and having my channel. So, not going to tell you if this product is good or bad. If that's what you want to see, there are plenty of other places to go. I want to make sure you have fuller information when you're thinking about a product, or, you know, whether you want to get it or why you don't want to get it. I could say something that makes you hate it and not want to, you know, look at it again. Or I could say something that you're like, I'm going to Sephora right now. I need to buy this. Get out of my way. It's happening. And as long as I can provide neutral, objective information, then that's great. Like, base your decisions off of that. Do not base your decisions off of these emotional responses I have to potentially even user error, or, you know, maybe I get a dud. You know, there's so many things. So I feel I have a lot of emotion in my voice. I feel very strongly convicted about this. So I'm going to take this brush and we're going to use that as the tone for my channel moving forward. There's a lot of things to consider about this brush. And I'm going to share a few thoughts. You know, if you have questions, like I said, comment down below. Happy to answer them. Happy to continue the conversation. I really like the idea of chatting with people about makeup, and I just want to provide my thoughts on products. So this brush overall, I think it retails close to about $60, $70. You do get the travel case, which is a nice kind of freebie. Of course, you're paying for it, but it's a nice throw-in. Something to consider with this product, it is a restricted item on Sephora, so instead of your 3 to 5 business days, because they're shipping it air, you're talking about 7 business days because it's ground. And I had issues with getting my product, even with the normal processing time for ground shipping. Something to consider. If you're thinking about buying this, take that into consideration. Maybe split up your orders if you have the free shipping, you know, $10 per year service, or for VIB Rouge. Split them up so if this is holding you back, you can still get the rest of your stuff. I learned that the hard way. So that's one thing. It comes with batteries, that's why it's a restricted item. Same thing with nail polish. The processing times can vary, but typically looking to around seven business days. That's one thing. Who do I think that this product might be a good fit for? People potentially like me. I like to film. I noticed when I was looking at some of my footage earlier on the train, I could tell a difference on the side of my face where I had the brush. I could. And I feel like for someone that likes those details, if I have the money and access to get something like this, and even the Clarisonic brush head, like, I might as well. I might as well go for a slightly more blended look, because it's those little things that hold people's attention. So if you like filming, this might be a good product for you. If you're someone that likes the novelty of innovative products that come out on the market, this might be a good fit for you, just to try it, see if you like it. As I was going through the video, I did point out certain things that initially I'm used to doing my makeup a certain way with a certain speed, and I couldn't necessarily do those same things with this product. Something to think about. There are people that I'm not sure if this is a good product for them. It doesn't make your makeup application go any faster. So if you're someone that like has 5 minutes to do their makeup, maybe not the best fit for you. I treat doing my makeup every day as if it were a spa-like experience. Like, I could spend an hour doing my makeup and think nothing of it. Some people are those grab and go. They need like 5 minutes. You know, that's it. Like, they're not going to spend as much time as someone like me that's really interested in makeup might. And even if they are, they might have those days where they can't spend that time. So if you're finding that you're on the rush, if you're finding that you're on the go and you're usually rushing and makeup is not the highlight or priority of your experience in the morning, you might want to pass with this. If you tend to find that you like using heavier foundations, I'm not going to say this product overall might not be a good fit, but you might want to try out a different brush head. I haven't looked at the brush heads online in full honesty, so it's possible they might have something that's a little bit denser if you like a thicker formula. As I was using this, I was using the Covergirl Vitalast. It's not liquid, it's not the thickest foundation I've used, but if you're going to use something thicker, you really got to space the product up and just layer to get the coverage you're looking for. You can't stick a blob of it on and expect this product to be able to move through it. I think one of the claims is that you need to use less foundation. Yes, it depends. It depends on the foundation. It depends on the formula. So I would give it points for that. If I will try this with other foundations. Maybe do a follow-up video if that's something you'd like to see, or just maybe pin a note at the top of this video what I found. If you are new to makeup, I don't necessarily think this would be the best product for you, because for 60 bucks, you could buy a whole brush set, you could buy a ton of beauty sponges, you could buy just different products that will probably go a much longer way as you're building out your skills and building out your collection. So if you're new and you're like, screw it, I want to get it, go ahead and get it. Like, of course, I just told you, I'm not going to sit up here and say, no, don't get it, it's trash. It's not a trash product. No product is a trash product. We really need to stop thinking that way in the beauty community, and just respect and appreciate who those products could be a good fit for. And if they're not, voice those concerns so that you as a consumer have a better understanding of if something's going to work for you or not. So if you're new to makeup, not yet. Maybe we're not here yet. If you have a Clarisonic, like, that's maybe half the cost. Like, I would be down for it. Even novice Ansley would be down for, you know, getting something like this. It's an innovative tool, and I haven't tried other brands that make the same type of product, so it could be that there's another brush that works better for you, you know, right? So you could probably also achieve the same blended look with the sponge. I don't like sponges. I just had a chat with 2 people in Sephora about it. I just don't like them. They're not my thing. They're not my jam. So I'm more likely to use this before I use a sponge. So I think that's everything. Please comment down below if you have questions. Happy to answer them. Let's start a conversation around some of the stuff that I talked about as it relates to, you know, having these clickbaity titles that something is trash or pass or hot or not, you know, like all that stuff. I would love to get your thoughts. I do have strong convictions. That is how operating with my channel moving forward. I just want to present information, you know. I am not you. I can't tell you if something is good or bad, and I shouldn't frame it in that way, because it could be a great product for you, and I'm truly here just to make sure that you have a different perspective on something that you're considering. So if you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, if you got to learn a little bit about the brush, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. As much content as I'm pushing out, guys, I spend a lot of time looking at the data and the analytics behind the videos that I'm producing, so I really want to make sure I'm giving you guys the right content, and I can only do that if I have some sort of interaction, you know, a thumbs up or even a thumbs down if you hated it, like this was trash, like, you know, anything that you guys are thinking. Comment if there's someone that you think would enjoy this video, share it with a friend, give them the link, tweet it out into the universe, like, pass along the information. I feel like that's something that people are really looking for these days, is good, solid information. And don't forget to subscribe. The bell is somewhere down here. I figured out that much. I think it's on this side. I can't remember how this uploads when I export it. So the bell is right next to the subscribe button. Go ahead and click that if you want to see anything that I'm going to be uploading in the future as it's happening, as well as check out that haul video. I'll probably link it again just in case. So if there's something that you like, let me know. I'll do a video on that first. As well as please give me feedback. If you guys truly want to hear something is trash or not, like, okay, I can take that into consideration. Let me know. But until I hear otherwise, we're going to go with objective, neutral opinions that don't sway you either way. Just providing some additional context. So with that, I hope I don't lose this footage and I can get this up tonight quickly and get all the editing done. I am sure I will see you shortly. Thank you to anyone who was new, who was tuning in. I appreciate you stopping on by, and I will see you guys later. Bye.